Hi friends, now let us take up JFG 7, 7th program, Java Feel Good Series, 7th project. This is preparation of marks report without using arrays. Actually, arrays is the advanced concept. Later we do that. Initially, you have to define variables only. Don't define array. If you know also, don't do that. Later you do that. It is not a big thing. Now, first I show you as usual. You have to design this. Design this means we have to understand the problem. Thereafter, we have to analyze that. Thereafter, we have to prepare algorithm. All the three aspects I explain with the simple words generally. Okay, this is the marks report. I need not explain it about this much because everybody knows about this. But for the sake of simplicity, I have taken only 3 papers. Okay, first you perform that. If you want to put 5 papers or 6 papers, as you like. But one thing I am telling you, once you are able to write program, making extension to that is not a big issue. But initially you have to get result without failing. The first instance itself, you should pass. That is my goal, my objective, and as well as intention. For that purpose, I enable you to perform every bit on your own. Now, this is the marks report, this is the format and the contents, everything I have given. Now, let us analyze that. In order to write that, how many variables we require? First we count that. Now, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. Totally 11 variables we require. 11 variables, the name of the student, class number, roll number, the names of the 3 subjects or papers, and marks in the corresponding 3 papers, total marks and average marks. Out of 11, 9 variables are input variables, 2 variables are output variables. Now, as far as input variables are concerned, what we do? We define them as instance variables using appropriate types. Appropriate type is always very important. Thereafter, for calculating total marks and calculating the average marks, 2 instance methods we define. Already we have seen the same case in weekly previous program, weekly temperature report. In weekly temperature report, what we did, we have we have defined a method for calculating total temperature. We have defined another method for calculating average temperature. In this context, you may get a doubt. This is a simple task. Calculating total marks is a simple task, and average calculating average marks is also very simple task. Why 2 methods? Actually, you must understand one principle. However simple it is, it may have even one line of code. We have to define separate method or function for every individual task. Every individual identifiable task, we have to create separate function. Here one more case is that we are printing total mark as well as average marks. That's why 2 separate methods are required. Don't bother about size. Actually, if you think of third method, that is printing demo mark report, that is a bigger method. So bigger or smaller. For each individual task, subtask, we have to define a method with the appropriate name and with the appropriate return type. That point you have to understand. Now, if we analyze that, what in blueprint class, what we define? We define 9 instance variables with their types, 1 constructor and 3 instance method, 1 method for calculating total mark, 1 method for calculating average mark, 1 method for demoing the report, displaying the report. We define that totally 9 plus 4, 13 elements will be there in the blueprint class. That point you have to understand. Now your mental work is over. Now, what are the types? Types and all that you are well versed. However, once again, I repeat that name, obviously it is a string, class number, always it is integer because it is a whole number like 10th class, 12th class, etc. Roll number, obviously it is also an integer. Thereafter, as far as subject names are concerned, here one principle we follow. Actually, you have different names for different subjects like English, computer science, mathematics, Hindi, like that. Different subject names are there. But here, for the sake of simplicity, what you do, you give names as triple A, triple B, triple C in uppercase only. Don't give lowercase. And once this is over, whatever you want, if you want to put computer science is 2 words bigger. You can make it shorter form and put it. That is the second stage, not now. Now, first you have to get result. Thereafter, you can make now instead of 3 papers, you make 5 papers. Nothing wrong in that. Later, you make the experiments. Okay. Now, uh, subject names, obviously strings, sub 1, sub 2, sub 3, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Thereafter, marks, marks, uh, marks 1, marks 2, and marks 3. Like that, you can give. Then you can declare all the instance variable. Now, once a blueprint class is ready, once you check all the elements before writing next element, always it is a good habit to check the previous element. Or otherwise, before writing implementation class, you check all the elements in the blueprint class. Thereafter, you can write the implementation class. In implementation class, what you do for marks report. Now, name of the class, first name of the class is marks report. Marks report, marks report object you create. Then obviously mark report for whom? A student. So S1 you put, that is apt S1, and S1 object you create, and then you have to pass 9 instance variable for initializing instance variables. Through constructor you pass 9 arguments, and thereafter via S1 you call demo mark report. Then mark report is printed. If you want to create second object also, second or n number of objects, once the blueprint is ready, n number of objects you can create, you can test it. You can test it. So by that way, you can get command. For one thing you remember that for each program you perform, your view, you look program differently. You can program to program you achieve perfect command. Your confidence is so much crystallized. Here practice is very much required. That too hands on. Don't copy. Whenever you get it out, don't immediately refer my version. You try on your own. If you commit error also, no problem, and make a probe of it, and thereafter you rectify that and ultimately get result.